right, guys, welcome to Onelife Podcast. Here with Carissa. She is an esthetician at Smashine Fitness. Welcome. Thank you for being on here.
Yeah, thank you
I
for
know
having me.
zero about skin health, things like that. So I'm very interested to talk to you about that. And then you've just taken a weight loss journey. You've got yourself a coach. That's led to you getting in shape, getting a new boyfriend, right? Like it's been this little positive domino effect, right?
Yeah, it's all positive things.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's start with what makes you passionate about, so you work for yourself, it's your own business.
Yes.
So located in Smashine. Which Smashine are you in?
Summerlin location.
Okay, gotcha. And you live over that way? Okay, perfect. So how long have you been doing it, and what gets you into, what makes you passionate about, what would you say, skin health, skincare?
So I've been doing this about 7 years. I actually started out of my house.
Okay.
And then,
don't you love it? I love people who just get started somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just word of mouth. That's really how I've built my clientele. But for me, it's about just helping others. And it's not just about the outside of the skin. It's feeling good, mind, body, and soul when my clients leave.
What do you mean by that exactly?
I do a lot of breath work with my treatments.
Oh, you do? Interesting.
I do Reiki. I do sound bowl, crystal healing. So it's a lot of energy work as well.
Very interesting. I've done Reiki once or twice before, and it's amazing.
Yeah, aligning all the chakras,
it's
releasing
crazy.
Any negative, stagnant energies.
It seems like nothing's happening, but you feel it's like, is this placebo? Is this real? But it's as real as it comes.
It's real. We're all energy.
Yeah, it's very crazy. Mind, body. What was the other one? Sorry.
Mind, body, and soul.
And soul. Okay, interesting.
Yes.
So who is your main clientele? Is it females? Do you get a lot of males? Is it young?
Females and males, young, and anywhere from I've even had 8 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that someone struggling with a condition?
Not always, just the parents wanting them to get into self-care, having me teach them a nice regimen to start to follow.
Okay, gotcha. I wanted to ask you that. What is a good regimen that everyone should be doing? Without your assistance, just as a base?
Well, everyone's different and has different skin types. But I would say I always like to start out small and then we can build from there. But definitely, if I had to pick 3 major things, it would be cleansing, exfoliation, toner to help balance out the pH on the skin, and sunscreen.
And sunscreen. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's on a daily basis?
Yes.
Is it like a sunscreen, a moisturizing sunscreen that you just put on on a daily basis?
Yes.
Okay. I've heard a lot of this stuff before. So hearing from a professional, I'm like, okay, I need to get on top of this.
Especially where we live, and depending on what you do for a living, if you're even driving in the car a lot, you're constantly exposed to the sun.
Okay. Do you think Vegas sun is better or worse than say on the beach, or Australia, skin cancer is huge?
Yes. I would say it's worse here just because we don't have cloudy or rainy weather here. It's usually it's very sunny.
Direct sun, or Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah,
direct sun.
And the heat as well. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've noticed, I'm in my 40s now, I've noticed starting to get little spots.
Some pigmentation.
But I grew up surfing my entire life. My mom preached sunscreen. And you don't really listen when you're young, and then when you get older, you're like, hey, I wish I listened more. Same as your teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Brush your teeth. Take care of your skin. Yeah.
And same thing, how we have to go to the dentist every 6 months just to check on things for our skin. We should be going to the dermatologist as well to make sure that everything's
That's interesting.
Good.
So if I came to you, what are you kind of looking for? What are you looking at exactly?
Well, first I ask my clients what they're looking for. So I know I have a base there, but I do a free consultation with my clients, and then of examine. If there's anything I see a growth, I ask the client, has this changed shape, color, or size?
Looking for melanomas, things interesting.
So, but I just recommend that because that's kind of out of my realm. So I always tell my clients once a year is good to go to the dermatologist and just check on things.
Interesting. Gotcha. So what got you passionate about that? Did you struggle with acne or anything yourself, which you healed, and you're like, hey, I can help other people? Or
I definitely went through that phase, but I was actually a dental assistant for 12 years.
Okay.
And I helped a lot of people with their teeth, and just being so many people are nervous and have had traumatic experiences. So I loved helping people come in and easing them and teaching them a healthy regimen. And I always was passionate about skin. So then I decided to go back to school and be my own boss. And
gotcha. It's expensive to study, isn't it? Like the course and the qualifications?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about they want to do it, but it's a lot of money to actually do it. Do you make your money back quite quickly, or is it going back to like just being able to run a business and not so much good at what you do?
It's definitely going to take time.
Yeah, I mean, like as a personal trainer, you can be the best personal trainer in the world, but if you can't get clients, so you can't run a business, you don't really make any money. Exactly. Is it the same type of thing, like marketing, putting yourself out there, yes. word of mouth, and not just
investing in your business? You're constantly investing in your business, you know. But I really feel like it's what you put into it, you know.
And I feel like if you're truly passionate about it, that shows. And as soon as I met you, like I knew you were passionate about what you do.
Oh, I love it. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And that's how important is it to like, so say you're a personal trainer, you can't be overweight and unhealthy and expect to get clients. So do you feel like there's pressure on you to look the best you can, have your skin as good as possible? Is that the same type of thing, or is it not so important? You know what I mean?
Always, but it's like being realistic too. You know, my biggest thing, I'm all about, you know, natural beauty. I also feel like whatever people want to do that makes them feel good about themselves, I'm all for it. But my thing is being able to embrace what you have without putting on a ton of makeup.
I like that natural beauty.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're so far from that these days.
Yeah.
And you get these people, no filter, and you know, and social media is like it's flipped everything on its head, and even skin, right, is another. And then you got so many people using filters. No one's really taking a natural picture, are they?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, that's interesting. As far as like marketing things, what do you do?
Just mostly social media right now.
Are you pretty present? You do it yourself?
I do it myself, yeah.
Okay, how's it going?
Good. I would love some help eventually, but
wouldn't we all, right?
It's a lot of work.
It's like what I do for a living, and I would love some help with it.
It's like, what is balance? I don't know anymore, but
what are you doing as far as your social?
I just try to get on there and give clients information.
So you are providing value, giving education. Awesome. Love hearing that.
Yeah.
What else you do?
Just word of mouth, really.
Are you getting before and after pictures? Are you doing like testimonials, things like that?
Yes, I do a lot of testimonials. Trying to get better at before and afters. I just get so involved with my clients when I'm in there that I forget. So that's something I'm working on.
So busy working in your business and not on it, right? Yeah. I see it all the time. Yeah. And it's not hard and it doesn't take long, but you, like you said, you get too busy doing it, and all of a sudden like, I didn't take a single photo.
Yeah. Or even videos, just sharing videos that day. It's like, as soon as I start sharing and people see, they're like, oh yeah, I got to book my appointment, or I'd love to do that. But if I'm not active on there, you know, people don't really think about it.
Do you find the more you push social, the more clients you get? And then when you stop pushing, it slows down?
Yeah.
And you're like, why did I stop?
Yeah.
And now you're chasing your tail, opposed to like, I feel like when you're busy is when you need to push the hardest on social and marketing.
Exactly.
So when you drop back, now you're still busier than you were before. But like you said, I've done the coolest things and I forgot to take a single photo. I'm like, why did I do that? Like, how am I supposed to leverage that?
Yeah.
Or I have clients and they've just done this huge convention or this huge thing and they didn't take a single photo. I'm like, how are you supposed to leverage that to get the next one when you didn't document it at all?
Yeah, it's a must.
Sure. So that's interesting. So let's talk skin. What do you got for me?
What do you want to touch on? There's so much.
So what are the biggest problems you deal with? Is it acne? Like, is that yours?
Oh my gosh, yes it is.
You can know.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I forgot to turn this off. Let me turn that off. Okay, that's off.
You're good. I've done it before.
Okay.
Yeah, so the biggest problems that like people come in with, like I'm sure you've got a common thing. Is it more acne, young people? Like what are the main things you're seeing and dealing with? Hormonal
acne.
Is that just being young and like?
Honestly, not really, because especially for women, we go through so many, every couple of years, our hormones are changing and fluctuating.
Okay. What about even with your menstrual cycle? Does that make a big difference too?
It does, yeah.
Gotcha. So you're dealing with a lot of that.
Yes.
How do you deal with like hormonal?
It depends again on the client, you know, what their daily habits are as well. But for the most part, I have different regimens for each client. And before your cycle, if somebody's really regular, there's a way that you can kind of prep your skin
Oh, that's
to where you
interesting.
don't break out as much as you would.
Interesting. And is it hard once you break out? It's probably easier prevention rather than cure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you're prepping before it comes. So okay, that's interesting. And what about just like people who suffer from like bad acne, bad pimples? Is there something you can do about it? Is it just bad luck? Like
there's a lot you can do about it. Definitely. It goes so much more than just topically of what we're putting on our skin.
Okay, talk to me about that.
It's exercise, it's diet, it's stress, it's all of those things that factor in.
Give me more detail on that. Because I feel like people need to hear this.
Yes. So there's actually a hormone that we produce when you're stressed out that can cause hormonal acne.
What's the hormone? That's okay. It's okay.
But there is a specific hormone that causes breakouts like that are cystic.
And that's just from being stressed.
And again, that's why I started including like meditation, breath work, and things like that.
You do meditation too, do you? Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're trying to like de-stress the person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not just when they come to see me, but when they go home as well.
Yeah. And that's going back to the prevention, right? Isn't it? Okay. So it's trying to keep stress, meditating. Right. That's something I've incorporated lately because I keep hearing it from my guests. I'm like, if I keep hearing it from these people, I got to take action on it.
Yeah.
So, so that'll help with pimples and acne. Interesting.
And diet is major. All those processed foods that everybody's eating every day.
Talk diet to me, because I'm a huge believer of this.
It's so hard and it's a very touchy subject for people, but it is, I've been through it. I lost 30 pounds. My skin was a mess. I wasn't feeling well.
Even your skin. So you're doing this for a career and you're carrying a bit of weight, you're not eating well, and your skin's suffering.
Right.
And you know better. That's interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of it is cutting back. I'm reading a book right now that's talking about basically cutting back on all processed foods. So, pretty much cutting out dairy, any refined sugars, alcohol, all of those things. We want to be realistic and not just like cut it all out.
Because it's not maintainable, is it?
Yeah. But I wish people would at least give themselves like a good month to 2 months of cutting these things out to actually see how you feel, right. Look at your skin.
You can't do it for a day or a week.
Right.
You've got to commit.
Yeah.
I love that you're saying that.
Yeah. And it's balanced. Still allow yourself, if you're going to go out, enjoy yourself, but just be prepared and be ready for the repercussions of that and know why it's happening.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I've talked about this a lot. When I've dieted for competitions or photo shoots, it's been 4 months of eating clean. And my skin has got amazing. My nails have grown quicker. My hair's grown quicker.
Yeah.
My there's no indigestion. There's no burping, farting, heartburn. There's nothing.
It's gone.
Everything just functions the way it's supposed to. And your skin is flawless.
Yeah.
But then you have that cheat meal, you have that piece of pizza. The next day, what happens? You have that alcohol. What happens?
Yeah.
You wake up and you feel crap. You're functioning crap. Your skin's breaking out. It's this domino effect, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
And you've got to do it for a significant amount of time to realize the benefit of it, like you're saying.
So many people want quick results. They want it like right after their appointment, or they're expecting results in like 2 to 3 weeks, but it's like realistically things like that take time. That's
very interesting.
Yeah.
So are you big on like detoxing then? I could see detoxing being a huge part to do with your skin.
Yeah. Even the gym just added a sauna actually, which there's so many great benefits with that.
Yeah.
Sweating out all of those toxins.
So that'll help with your skin too.
Yes.
Okay.
Including a juice. Now, I don't just cut out food and then only do juice. I'll incorporate a juice like daily or every other day.
Okay.
My food. Supplements that you can take. Turmeric is really good for anti-inflammatory in the body.
Yeah, it is. And how does that help with your skin though, being anti-inflammatory?
It just helps regulate the cells in your body to where you don't experience these breakouts.
How interesting is that?
Yeah.
That's getting deep, and that's like...
Bone broth is another good one too. Really? Because that re-regulates all of the gut.
And collagen, right, with your bone broth. And collagen is like the elastic part of your skin, isn't it? That's very interesting. There's so much I want to touch on that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Cordell is actually the one that told me about the bone broth, but it's like...
That's how I know about
bone broth.
That's how I know about bone broth. It's Cordell. 100%.
I texted him, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, why haven't I been doing this,
Yeah, that's why I know about it.
Yeah.
And then, do you feel like the better you eat, the more you exercise, the more you take care of your skin, the younger you're going to stay, feel, and look, correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
35.
35. And you don't look 35, right?
Thank you.
You look young, you look healthy, which is amazing.
Thanks.
And that's because you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And there's people at 35 that look like they're 50, and that scares the crap out of me. I'm 42. I feel like I look younger for my age, but I am noticing I'm starting to get little spots and things that I probably just come from age. But maybe after seeing you,
you gotta
maybe I can drop a couple years.
Yep, we can do some customized boosters.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Your fitness journey, what happened there? So why have you always been active, or have you been had ups and downs?
I think I've always been active as a child, but my weight always kind of fluctuated, for sure.
Okay, and why is that, you think?
I just didn't. It's food, being consistent and finding something that I loved in the gym. You know, I would try something for a while and then get bored. So okay, so yeah, I would say, I always say this. I'm lucky enough. I found weights when I was 17 and I got hooked. And I've been 5 days a week for 25 years. Wow. And that's just what I love to do. Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bragging way. I mean that I was just lucky that I fell in love with lifting weights.
Yeah.
And I've never once dreaded going to the gym or had to push myself because I enjoy going. And I feel like not everyone needs to love lifting weights. If you love playing tennis and that's your thing, go play tennis.
Right,
go
exactly.
nuts. But you got to find something that gets you active and gets you out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what is that thing now?
Well, definitely a coach. That helped me a lot.
Okay, so you got Carla, right?
Yeah.
Carla from Smash.
Yeah. They hold you accountable.
What made you get a coach?
Honestly, I was just at a point in my life where I was desperate. I needed help. I needed guidance. And right away, I just clicked. I just vibed with him. Were
you trying it by yourself and not succeeding, and then you're like, hey, I need to get like more help? Or you
I trained with 2 other coaches prior to that. And,
okay.
Things just didn't work out, or I kind of fell off. And he just kind of, once I met him, he like held me accountable. And honestly,
was it personalities matching?
Personalities, and then I feel like it was the gym too.
Okay, being at Smash.
Yeah, the environment there, you know, and I had never tried strength training, so for me, I kind of.
So you never lifted or anything?
Never lifted.
So you're just kind of cardio or something at the gym?
Cardio, kickboxing.
Anything but lifting weights.
Yeah.
Was that the stigma that females aren't supposed to lift weights?
Pretty
and
much,
get bulky?
yeah. You're gonna get bulky, and it's not gonna be attractive.
That's interesting. So you fell into that.
Yeah.
And now that I love hearing that.
Love it.
I love it. Now we get to get across to every other female out there.
Yeah.
There's so many other benefits. And you lift weights, you lift consistently, and you're so far from being chunky.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
So it blows my mind that people still believe that with the information's out there. Gotcha. So I did personal training for 8 years, and I found there's all different trainers at the gym, and their personalities would gel with their clients. And the clients I had, my personality would gel, and we were friends. But other clients I wouldn't want to train because our personalities didn't match. Yeah. So it seems like you and Carlo just kind of clicked. Okay. Yeah. And that being pretty huge for you. That's interesting.
Yeah, you're trusting. It's a very it's just like skin too. It's like you're going in with this person and you're very vulnerable, and you know.
The stuff that clients would share, it's crazy. Yeah. I would say you're more than a trainer. You're more of a
it's like a life coach.
Yeah, a life coach being a good word, right? You're doing they're talking about relationships, fights, this, that, stress, work, problems. You're hearing everything, and you're seeing like 2-3 times a week, and they're telling you everything. Yep. So life coach being a good way of putting that. Yeah. Accountability, coaching. Did you find it got you to your results quicker because what you're getting told to do was the right thing to do? What you got told to eat was the right thing, opposed to you guessing? Yes. Because when you don't know, right? Yeah. It's kind of like your skincare. Like, hey, this is what TV said. I saw this person said this, but but if you go straight to you and you're like, this is what you got to do. Yeah. It's going to save you all that time. It's like a shortcut. Right. So you found the same thing with having a coach. Okay. And then what did he what was it? Was he just got you on strength training? He got you on the diet? What was it that just...
Strength training, I feel like for me, honestly, diet took me probably a good year almost to really lock it in. Now I'm doing meal preps and things like that, measuring my food out. Okay. And I do like that he wasn't so strict on that at the beginning, because I think that really scares a lot of people away. Yeah. You know? It's
like... you can't go with that. It's like if you're a smoker, stop smoking tomorrow. Right, yeah. It's never going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But you slowly got to ease it off and develop habits, like we always say. So it was, and like Cordell says, is like one variable at a time.
Exactly.
So is that kind of the way you went about it?
Yes.
Okay. So how did you kind of transition with your diet? What were those variables for you?
I think the first thing we started was MyFitnessPal. So I was just tracking calories in, calories
Interesting.
out.
Super simple.
Yeah. And then from
were
there...
you shocked what you're consuming when you started writing it down and documenting? That's kind of
like a reality check.
It's a good wake-up call, isn't it? Like, do I really eat that much crap?
Right.
I've heard that before. I don't eat a lot of crap. And then you write it down, you're like, maybe I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm eating way too much. So you started documenting it.
Yes.
And then that was a bit of a wake-up call for you, was it? And then what progressed from there?
It's just nice too, because I feel like, especially for a lot of females, so many women go on these like fad diets and they're like, oh, I can't, carbs are so bad for you. But it's like, actually, when you're strength training, when you're working out, you need carbs, but it's healthy carbs.
Healthy carbs.
Yeah.
Healthy anything. Fat, good fat, bad fat. Like bad fat's terrible for you. Good fat's amazing for you. You can even have bad protein. Like, if you're having deli meat, that's not good protein.
Right, exactly. So,
yeah, okay. And did you find, as you started seeing results, it was easier and it was more motivating to kind of keep restricting?
That, yes, but honestly, it was how I felt.
Interesting.
Inside.
What was it inside? Was it more like proud of yourself, or was it just having more energy and feeling better?
Feeling better.
Interesting.
Having more energy and feeling better.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So you're eating better, feeling better, and then you start to look better, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like so many people do it for the physical side of it, the aesthetics, like the way they look. And I feel like once you get a little bit older, it's not so much like the way you look. That I feel like that should be secondary.
Oh yeah.
It's how you feel inside. It's how much energy you got. It's how much clarity you got. It's how hard you can work. And you can probably relate to that, right?
Oh yeah. For me, the gym, when I go into the gym, if I'm having a bad day or something's going on, it's like a mental release for me, you know? And
you could be having a fight with like a spouse or anybody, and you go to the gym and you walk out and you feel normal again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's the problem though. Like if your girlfriend, boyfriend doesn't go to the gym at the same time, you come back, they're still angry. And you're like, hey, I feel normal then. And that's I've experienced that in the past. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the only one who got rid of this problem.
Yeah, you definitely got to support each other for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. So did you find, so I think fitness, mindset, business, I feel like they interlace and I feel like they really go together. Did you find your business benefit as you got healthier and you implied more discipline and better habits?
Of course, yeah.
What happened there for you?
I just feel like I started attracting better. I was better for my clients, more aware.
That's interesting, and that like more energy, like you want to be there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And did you find yourself like the ability to work harder and I find with business, like there's things you don't want to do, but you got to. Social media
Especially
being a big one,
boss.
right? Yeah, especially working for yourself, because if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it for you.
Yep.
And the same thing as fitness. You can point the finger, make excuses, but if you don't do it, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And how did that kind of relate to with business? Like, you know what I mean? Did you find yourself like, hey, if I can diet and I can do this, hey, maybe I can start marketing myself. I can start putting myself out there.
Yep. And it's always going to be intimidating at first, but it's like once you get past that little like
baby steps,
then you can do more and more and more, and it's just like that's just how I feel like it is,
What were some of the baby steps like with the growth for you?
I mean, continuing education, learning more on social media, everything really.
Even just asking clients for reviews or like testimonials. Like if you don't, like a big thing for me, if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you're doing a good job and you're passionate about it and you ask a client, they're more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
But if you never ask, you never know.
Exactly.
And you probably found that, right? You probably asked and people are like, yeah, I'd love to help you out. I'd love to refer you. I'd love to make I literally asked for some new guests today for a podcast. And one of my guys that came on just put a blast on his Facebook. It was like 10 inquiries, 10 new people to come on the show. If I didn't ask him, that wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's that mindset thing. It's those baby steps. Yeah.
It's a battle in the mind for sure too, because there's always moments where you're like intimidated, or you're like, I'm not doing well with this, or, you know, I can't do that. But it's just like breaking through that, you know.
No,
even
totally.
coming on here, this is like all new for me. I was very nervous to do this.
Yeah.
This is just one baby step to something else, you know.
Yeah, and you never know what comes from doing this, right?
Right.
I find the older you get, learning to say yes to things. You ever seen Yes Man?
And following through with it, you know.
Yeah, like having integrity, right?
Yeah.
The older I get, there's a few things like punctual, integrity, treat people the way you want to be treated, and just doing me for me and not caring about anyone else's opinions. Starting a podcast. Who am I to start a podcast? I'm nobody.
Yeah.
But why not? It's for me. It makes me happy, so why not? And if I can help provide value to help other people like yourself, that's even better. And I feel like so many of us we don't start a business. We don't start that weight loss journey. We don't go to the gym because we're worried about other people's opinions, or what happens if I fail, or what happens.
Yep.
And I'm sure you've been through that on many different levels.
Yes.
Are you you're reading self-education? I know Jay's a big reader.
Yes.
Did you read a lot?
Together.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How good's that?
A lot of motivational things.
When you say you read together, like you read the same book? Or you guys just
we'll like read separately in bed, and then we'll like talk about it after. We'll talk about our books after.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. So we share with each other and we get a little bit of knowledge, you know.
And you get different perspective, like what you got out of it, how you interpreted it, and then that's awesome.
Yeah.
How important do you think environment is as far as like health and business?
Huge,
right?
Yeah.
Give me your perspective on that.
Which even since I started my health journey, you know, I've been through a divorce this past year. It's like you're definitely going to lose people and you're going to gain people, but you want to keep the people that are supportive around you, and creating those boundaries with people that are not supportive in your journey.
How do you? I totally agree. How do you go about that? Because it's easier said than done. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to just cut people out.
Yeah, that's.
Or just create those boundaries. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by boundary? Like,
you know, sometimes you still have those friends that want to go out and party or go do certain things that just don't align with your environment. So you just have to learn how to say no.
Okay, so that being the boundary.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or even family, close friends. There's going to be people that don't always see your vision, that, you know, wouldn't go the distance or go that far. So they're going to intimidate you a little bit, but you kind of have to block those things out and just.
That's interesting. What I found is learning to have the right conversations with the right people.
That's true. Yes.
I have my gym buddies. I have my drone buddies. I have my one wheel buddies. Yeah. And then I have my business buddies. And I have, it's like, what is it? I can't remember. But yeah, I've learned to have the same, even my parents, I have certain conversation with my parents, and certain things I don't talk about. Yep. Because they're not entrepreneurs. They're not business. They don't really get it. Like they'll try to support it to a certain point, but we're just on different pages.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get that. But I like
that's a huge one for me, because then it's in my head, you know, I'm just like, okay, I got to create something to where this doesn't affect my life or business.
And that's the thing,
anymore.
right? Yeah. It's trying to stay around the positive people who support you, people who are pushing you to grow, people doing better than you.
Yeah.
That's huge. Like, you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
And that's what I love about this podcast. Everyone's making me damn accountable.
Yeah.
I need to get my skin better. I need to train harder. I need to get leaner. I need to push harder. I need to do more self-education.
Yep.
It's making me so accountable, but I feel like in 2 years' time, I'm like, damn, I've grown so much because of all these like individual guests and all these individual conversations. Favorite books. What's some of the things that come to mind? Some of the most biggest influence you've had from books?
Oh, there's so many.
What's something that pops in your head?
Skin Food is a really good one.
What's Skin Food about?
It's a dermatologist that actually wrote this book.
Okay.
And she talks about her journey of acne and hormonal breakouts.
Okay.
And she talks about diet in most of her book.
What's her recommended diet? What does she talk?
It's talking a lot about taking out processed foods, different oils, grains, and things like that.
Do you feel like our skin was better like 100 years ago because we're eating better quality food?
For sure.
That's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the longer we go back, the better skin we probably actually had.
And just, I mean, even think about all the pollution in the air as well that affects us.
That's been huge too.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I'm a big fan. If it's not killed or grown, don't eat it.
Yeah.
And whether you want to be vegetarian or vegan or carnivore, do the best quality food you can, but avoid the sugars, the processed foods, the bad oils.
Yeah.
And that's all there really is to it, and do it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same as your training, just do it consistently. Same as business. It's got to be consistent. Social media, it's got to be consistent.
Yep.
There's no real trick.
And really it's discipline.
Yeah. Discipline by developing good habits.
Yep.
And keeping those good habits on a consistent basis. And it kind of runs full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of habits, what are your habits?
And I write them down and put them, we have a calendar too. So we like see
our
goals
really? To make you accountable.
Monthly.
Love that.
Yeah. We have our vision boards above us that we look at every night.
In your bedroom?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
So you got it on the roof?
Yeah.
What's on your vision board? That's amazing.
So much, a lot of traveling. One of them was to learn how to play chess with Jay, salsa dancing.
Is he good at chess, is he?
He's good, yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
I thought about secretly getting lessons and like playing with them, you know?
I literally saw a video the other day. It's a YouTube video about chess.
Uh-huh.
And this guy must be like this crazy champion. And he would see the chess setup and he would know what game it was from what year with what players play. It was insane.
Oh my gosh.
So this guy just had this like photogenic memory. It was like, it's like 1986, blah, 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 blah. And the guy tried to trick him and he showed him a chess setup when the guy was a kid. He's like, that's me in this year playing against this person in this final.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, some people think different.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus. So traveling's a big one for you?
Traveling, yes.
Why traveling? What do you love about traveling so much?
I've just never had the chance to really do that. So even just this last year, we went to Tulum, which was fun.
What's Tulum?
Costa Rica. It's in Mexico.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Costa Rica, I want to see the Northern Lights. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love traveling. I think if you work for yourself, the reason you work for yourself is to create the money and the freedom to travel.
Yeah.
To me, that's everything.
And it's like it resets me. It like resets me creatively, everything. And then I come back and I'm better at what I do.
And you hustle harder because you want to go back and do it again.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, I want to make more money. I need to create more systems to free myself. So
for sure.
I haven't traveled for probably a month or two and I'm like itching.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad. I'm like, I've been so many cool places this year. I'm like, I got to travel. So I'm pushing hard at work and now I'm going to step back and like go do something cool.
Yep.
And I don't know if you can relate to this, but I remember traveling experiences way more than I do making money. Where it's been a really good week or a really bad week, I always remember experiences way more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Even bad experiences. They make for better memories and better stories. And like, hey, I made X amount of money this week. Do you find the same thing?
Yep. That's why we don't really do, like, I don't believe in gifts. I feel like experiences like...
That's interesting. You know? I like that. Yeah, because you're going to remember it a lot more than a brand new camera or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else is on your vision board? If you don't mind sharing, of course.
I definitely want to open up my own wellness center.
What's that exactly? What is that?
So something that has facials that are more on the holistic end. You know, even somebody, mental health therapist as well. Just creating an environment where somebody comes in and they have all of those services available to them and they can leave feeling 100%.
So you have experts in different fields inside that. Okay. And then would you oversee everybody or would you still do your side of things?
I would still do my side of things, but I would want to eventually kind of oversee everybody and have it be cohesive.
And that's probably how you can make more money in what you're doing, right? And then renting out the rooms or taking percentage or however you do it. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem when you and I are trading time for money. It's like there's only X amount you can charge and there's only so much time in a week.
Right.
And you kind of hit that cap. And that's honestly, I'm trying to step back right now and outsource, delegate, provide value to other people, but then also make money at the same time.
Yeah.
Because right now I could be doing this, but have 5 other people out doing jobs and be making money doing that. And that's going to help pay for this so I can scale this. So I get where you're trying to go. Is your vision board your goal board or do you have separate goals?
We also have, I have a goal board and then my vision board. And I would say, like, my vision board, I'm on my 3rd one now, so it does change. Like, maybe every year I'll do, like, a new one. But I do keep all of them. That's really cool. Yeah. Do you find when you look at it, like, I knocked this one off? Yeah, it feels good.
It's such a cool feeling, right?
And even if it's not exactly how you envisioned it, you know, it's always a little bit different than what you put on your vision board.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just having something there, right?
Right, yeah.
I think when Jay was over, the first thing you noticed was my goals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's out there next in my desk, next to my office, and I think it's the first thing he noticed, and it's the first thing he commented on.
Yep.
So I love the fact he saw that.
Yeah.
And he was like all about it. So it just shows the right people think the right way.
Yep.
I love that. Failures. What have you done wrong as far as business? What mistakes have you learned from? I know we're all been there. Have you made a lot?
I'm like, I'm still learning. I don't know.
Is there any like big lessons you're like, damn, I can't believe I did that, or
I would say just the biggest thing is investing in your business, not being intimidated, and investing in like videography, photos, continuing education, because with skincare things are always changing, so you always like either you kind of get left behind or you got to, you know, keep up with everything. So
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I can relate. Like, yeah, I'm a photographer, videographer, but I don't like to classify myself as that. I'm more of a like businessman, because I read business book after business book, and that's sales, marketing, negotiation, people skills, body language. All this helps as a photographer. All this helps as an esthetician, doesn't it? It's not. And then I like the fact you're upping your skills, and like, yeah, because do you find, does the research change, the technology change with what you do? So you got to kind of stay on top of it as well. Why does it change? Is it just? There's
just always new things coming out, new techniques coming out, new like products coming out. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you got to kind of stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. Okay. So you got your books, you got your vision board, you got your goals.
Yeah.
What else? What are the other mistakes you've kind of? So like, when you said not investing in business, you mean like not investing in the marketing and expecting the work to come to you?
Right.
Or?
Like I'm working on my website right now, you know, which I kind of was procrastinating that for a long time. But it's like the more I get on top of that, the more it's going to be easier for my clients to get on there and navigate through what I do. You know.
I was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And now every single social media post, my website's connected to it, and now it kind of sells itself.
Yeah.
And it also helps phase out the people who aren't willing to spend the money that I charge too.
Yeah.
Because they see it like, oh yeah, they're not going to contact me, it's too expensive. The ones that do contact me, they're more likely, like, they're already expecting to pay that certain amount of money.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I can highly suggest from my personal experience. What else have you?
I mean, I guess I'm kind of waiting on my moment to open up my spa, and I know it takes time, but I think I'm worried to like fail in that aspect. So that's why I haven't really jumped that, you know.
Yeah. How do you prep for that?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really is putting yourself out there, and it's like, I got to make this, like, you know, when I do it, I have to really make it work, because there's no going back for me.
I guess you got Jay and Carlo, like they've done something very similar. So
yeah.
I guess you've got their expertise, and I'm sure they're more than happy to give you 1,000,000% back on that.
Yeah.
So how do you get past that?
I don't know. I'm working on that right now.
Do you have friends or anyone who runs something similar that you can go to? So that's probably huge too.
Yeah.
And then, are you comfortable to reach out to those people? Have you reached out to those people?
Yeah. So I'm learning a little bit here and there. And there was actually a location that I looked at that I fell in love with. And then there was a few people that I wanted to bring with me, but they weren't ready yet because they hadn't really, they're still working on their clientele. So. Yeah.
Okay. And that's going to be hard too, is like, you got to bring the right people that represent you the right way too.
Exactly.
But I always look at it like, if Amazon can figure it out, you and I are running a small business can figure out a couple people, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like Smash Iron's got, how many trainers have they got?
Gosh, I want to say maybe like 7 or 8.
But they got 7 or 8 great people.
Amazing.
And I'm sure that didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they went through a bunch of people to get to that, but it's slowly but surely. I'm a big believer, failing's only failing when you give up. Yeah. And if you have a bad person, you just got to figure out how to get that right person.
Yeah.
And it might take. I worked at there's a business called Dig This, where you drive bulldozers, excavators. He says he interviews 100 people to get one.
Wow.
100 people. And he goes, he doesn't care about experiences. You don't have to know how to drive a bulldozer. He goes on your personality.
Yeah.
Because the skill can be taught.
Right.
And what I'm doing right now with my business, I'm trying to get photographers, videographers. And the main thing I'm looking for is punctuality, integrity, treating people the right way.
Yeah.
The rest of it can be taught.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be a photographer, I can teach how to take photos. Yours is probably a little bit different because you have the qualifications and skills, but it's still, you're still looking for certain things, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it's all about helping people.
Gotcha.
And really being genuine with that, you know.
Okay. So how's the fitness going? How often you go to the gym? Are you just training with a trainer? Are you doing it by yourself now?
So I train with Carlo 3 days a week, and then on my own 2 days a week.
Do you train with Jay at all, or you train by yourself?
We train together 1 or 2 days a week. We try to do it together.
Okay. Is he making you lift heavy like he does? Or?
Oh, he always pushes me.
Yeah, I bet she does. Yeah. He does powerlifting though, right?
Yes.
Has he got you into any powerlifting?
No, I'm a little too intimidated with that.
Yeah. It's a whole different breed, isn't it? That's cool.
But I think the next level for me, and I've been talking to Cordell about this, is I do want to do a bikini comp. That's
something that
I want to start doing.
Why is that?
I've never competed in anything, and I went to one of his shows, and it just kind of inspired me. So I really want to, now I want to push myself and see how far I can actually discipline myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason besides a personal challenge to yourself. I love that.
Yeah.
What do you, I do things on a daily basis that make me uncomfortable. So like cold showers would be one of the biggest ones I do.
You do that?
Cordell can't do it because he's too weak.
Jay does that too, and he tries to make me do it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it.
So that's something I do to make myself uncomfortable. Have you got things you do to make you uncomfortable? Like on a weekly basis, daily basis?
Well, even when we read with each other and stuff, and like if like we read out loud together or something like that, that makes me feel uncomfortable. You know, it kind of puts me on the spot a little bit, but challenging myself in the gym was something new that I haven't done before.
What do you mean by that? Like lifting heavier, pushing harder?
Pushing harder, yeah.
Okay. And then what else are you doing? Even just reading consistently, right? It's challenging.
Yeah. I'm meditating. I was meditating for a long time, and then like since we moved into our new house, maybe for 2 months, I haven't really been doing that, which I need to get back into that again.
So you're getting back in the routine of that.
Yeah.
What's the, do you guys do it together?
We do.
It's, I want to touch on this. How important is dating the right person? It seems like you and Jay are right for each other on so many different levels. How important is that? Like business, mindset, training, meditation, eating.
It's all of it, really.
Yeah, it seems like if he wasn't like that, you would be, I'm a big fan of those who don't increase you eventually decrease you. And he's adding value to each and every day, and you're adding value to him. Therefore, you guys are a great partnership.
We push each other. You know?
Yeah, you keep each other accountable. You support each other. You're trying to help each other grow.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's so important. How do you find that right person? Like, I'm sure you didn't find that overnight.
It's about getting really intentional with what you want, I think.
I like that.
And I really do believe in putting it out into the universe, exactly what you want, write it down. And really, if you're on that like wavelength and you're that's what your thoughts are, I think we really attract the people around us with what we're looking for.
So becoming the person you want to attract.
Exactly.
I like that. I'm a huge believer in that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Partner, friends. Have you got good friends around you?
Yes.
Did you always have good friends around you, or you slowly chipping away, cutting away? Do you keep your circle tight?
I do.
Yeah, so do I. I don't want to, but it's hard to find the right people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your circle? Is it people from work, people from the gym?
Close friends that I've had for years, and mostly people from the gym now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, I want to ask you, if you see someone with bad skin, and do you want to go help them?
I do. Yeah.
Do you ever just walk up to a stranger and let them know what you do and what you could help?
I have done that before, yeah.
Is that tricky to do?
It is.
Because I feel like people are touchy about the way they look, especially having a bad skin. I feel like they're very touchy, very emotional about that. So you have done that and offered services?
Yeah. Usually it's someone that's already kind of like, they're talking to somebody else about their skin or something, and then I kind of chime in.
Like you've overheard it.
Yeah. I would love to get better at that. Yeah.
Because even at the gym, I'll hear the same thing. I'm like, I want to cut in, but I don't want to be that person.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you go about that?
I just kind of approach them and let them know I have like more of a holistic approach if that's something that they're interested in.
Okay.
Because usually at that point, they've tried so many topical experiences. They've even gone to the dermatologist and done a lot of peels and aggressive things to their skin too.
When you say holistic, what do you mean by that?
Holistic means, so I make a lot of my own products.
Do you really?
And it's all clean, essential oils, herbs.
Okay.
All of those types of things.
Is it hard to have the knowledge to do that, or is that just from experience?
From experience.
That's interesting.
Yeah. During COVID, actually, is when I started like playing around with
playing
recipes.
chemist.
Yeah.
I love that. Just in your kitchen, or
yeah.
How cool is that? But the way it reacts on your skin is going to be different to every other person, though, isn't it? So how do you get around that?
Honestly, it's like a whole thought process for people. So it's not just talking about these products or topically. It's like, you know, the meditation, what we're putting in our bodies, what we're doing for our body daily, the people around us.
Okay.
So it's kind of reprogramming my clients.
Gotcha. I could see you having a podcast and talking skin and things with people. You ever thought about doing that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
I'd be down to do something like that.
I feel like that would be very beneficial. You could talk to people struggling, what they're struggling with, and you could literally give I thought about doing this with my social media stuff, is having open consultations on camera and me teaching them about social media, what they should be doing, but filming it. Then more people get value out of it.
I love that.
But you could probably do that with what you do. Someone comes in, hey, I'm 24, I suffer from this. You're like, okay, this is where we start.
Yeah.
And then you could even come in and do it again in a month's time. Hey, have you seen an increase? Or have things got worse? Chop it up. I don't know. I'm just giving you some ideas here.
Yeah, I like it.
But that's something you could do quite easily.
Yeah.
And more on the holistic side, so it's more like natural, I'm getting at. Do you find most people, okay, so is it the same as like you go to the doctor and rather than prevention, like, oh, you take this drug? Is it the same thing with skin? People aren't like, hey, how's your food? How's your stress?
Yep.
Just take this, like, is it the same thing?
Like a quick fix, you know?
Yeah, okay.
And not that I'm talking down, like it's like I do think that there's medications and things that help people out there.
No, I totally know what you're saying.
But a lot of the times, then as soon as they stop taking those medications or stop doing those things, everything comes back. And it's
so you're masking it. You're not fixing it. So you're getting right back into the cure, like cleaning the skin out, fixing it at a base level. That's very interesting.
And it does start internally first.
Okay, and that being the diet. That's interesting. So as far a little bit more on the holistic side, like what else are you recommending?
Taking time out of your day to meditate, which I know is very hard for people. It's hard for me too, but even like 5 to 10 minutes. Journaling.
That's all I'm doing, 10 minutes,
Yeah. Journaling after that. Listen to a podcast, something that's going to help your brain grow. Like
positive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about it a lot lately. It's like what you feed your mind is how the way you feel.
Yep.
You listen to positive stuff, you're a more positive person. Full stop.
Stop with the Netflix unless it's something educational, It's okay to like binge once in a while, but it's like, think about how you feel after that, Are you like all high strung or like in a negative mindset? Most likely.
I love that you say that, because I always say, like, people that flick through social media for hours, do you ever get off social media and feel happy?
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, maybe you see a cute little dog video and that might put a smile on your face, but you do it for half an hour, you never walk away happy. When you walk away happy is when you go outside and get in the sun and go for a walk. That's when you feel... I
just did that. I went rollerblading before I came here
today.
Did you?
And I was
just like, I need to start doing this every day. Like when we were kids, that's what we used to do, and we felt amazing.
There's a saying, it's like somewhere along the line we forget to have fun.
Yeah.
I have a one wheel. You know what that is? Like it's like a go-kart wheel and an electric board. And I scoot around the park and I go, it's so fun until you fall off. Yeah. When you fall off in your 40s, it's not so fun, but it's so good. And I love the fact you go rollerblading, and that's so cool.
You get the sunshine, the fresh air,
Yeah, that's the problem I have in Vegas is in summer in Australia, you're outside. Beach, barbecues, swimming. Summer in Vegas, you hide inside for 4 months.
That's true.
And I find it the most depressing part of my life, the most depressing part of the year. And it's so hard because I grew up on the beach in nice weather. Australia doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. So you're always able to get outside.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I struggle with here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to get around it.
Well, Mount Charleston's not far.
Yeah, but like, do you go there every day?
No.
It's not very practical to go every day.
It's not.
Like, I literally wake up and I'm outside the house and I don't come back until I have to.
Yeah.
So I have a very hard time here in the summer.
It's rough here.
Yeah.
And then like right now, this is perfect weather, but then soon it's
2 weeks time it's going to be freezing. Yeah. So, you don't really get much of it. No. So I get...
If we could all live next to the ocean, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. And I know, I was just spoiled. Yeah. How long have you been in Vegas?
I moved here in 2000.
Where were you born?
Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So what made you come here?
My family. My dad moved here. So
Okay, gotcha.
I was just starting high school, so I had no choice but to come down
here. Do you like it here?
I do now. I thought I wanted to live somewhere else. I actually moved to Phoenix for a couple years, which is very similar weather.
It's hotter though.
It's
hotter and less to do, isn't it?
And then I did move back home for a while, but it's just so expensive to live in California. It's like
that's
rough,
the problem, right? Even Australia. Yeah. Okay.
And now at this point, I've already built my clientele here, so I'm like, I'm not.
That's the problem too, right?
Here for a while.
I think Vegas is okay if you can get out when you want to get out.
Yeah.
The airport's so close. I live 5 minutes from the airport, so it's great for that. But it's when you get stuck and you don't get out for a while. I feel like that's when you kind of feel. For me personally, that's when I feel a little bit trapped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay. What else can you share with me? So you got your books, you got your vision board, your goals. What's kind of next? Like, obviously you're talking about like starting the business.
Yep.
Talking about competing. Anything else you got?
Definitely want to start a future family with kids and things. That's something down the line,
because you haven't got children yet, do you?
No.
Yeah, I got an 8-year-old daughter, and
you do?
Yeah, it's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah,
it's the hardest thing, but it's the best thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's all good to make money and this and that, but having a child and spending time with them outweighs everything.
Oh yeah.
I would trade money, I would trade experience for anything to spend more time with my daughter. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Jay on board for that?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm getting practice with Jadia too, so that
okay.
helps a lot.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's just go over the base of your skin again, and before we finish up. So, main things for someone on a daily basis as far as like taking care of the skin. Where do we start with? So
definitely using a good cleanser.
And also, are we doing this in the morning and night? Are we just doing this once a day?
It depends on the client, but for the most part, I'm pretty conservative with that, and I would say once a day, and that would be in the evening.
Okay.
Less is more, because the more we're stimulating the skin and we're putting things topically, we're kind of irritating it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And we're messing with the natural bacteria that's on our skin.
So before you go to bed, are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we do?
So in the morning when you wake up, just cleanse with like lukewarm water. Use a nice natural toner that helps balance out the pH level of the skin.
Okay.
And then again, depending on the client, maybe a serum and a SPF and moisturizer, or just SPF. It depends on the client.
Okay.
And then evening time, I always do 5 to 10 minutes of steam just to kind of release the toxins out of
every
my
night?
skin.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
that, I'm sure that makes a huge difference.
It does,
okay.
Yes. And then I cleanse my skin, and then again, depending on the day of the week, like I'll do a mask and exfoliation like 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
And then a nice customized serum. So I'll do like vitamin C or even a retinol once a week.
And all these products you're talking about, you sell them directly, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it affordable for most people?
Yeah.
Or is it a priority?
So the stuff that I make customized is pretty affordable.
So these are your own products?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, some of the other items that I carry, I think I have a nice variety though. Some of it's a little more high end, but I think I have like a pretty good base for everyone.
It's probably one of those things, I can't afford to eat healthy, but when you're sick in 10 years time, like, can you afford it then?
That's so true.
So
yeah.
It's probably the same thing with skin, right?
Right.
It's doing it now, so later it's not going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah, to reverse all the damage.
Okay, gotcha. And then I'm going to come in and see you soon, and you're going to run me through a little.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with me?
We shall see.
Yeah.
We'll probably do a nice deep cleanse. I'll do like an enzyme, so we'll get some toxins out of the skin, help you lighten and brighten. And
lighten and brighten. Yeah. I like
that. Yeah. We'll use my Hydrafacial to hydrate the skin, tighten everything. So for just some anti-aging purposes. Where's
most people going wrong when they age? Is it the bags? Is it the curves eyes? Like what generally makes us get older in the
Water,
face?
hydrating the skin.
Gotcha.
Dehydrating the skin and not protecting it with sunscreen as well. A hat when you're out, doing summer activities, or even in the wintertime, really protecting your skin.
So you're all about just like sunscreen every day?
Pretty much every day.
Interesting. Yeah, because I was in Thunder Down Under, right? So I'm around a bunch of guys trying to.
Is that why you look so familiar?
This is like 12 years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, so all these guys, they're all pretty boys. They're all like taking care of the skin. And I know like some of the guys who were in the 40s at the time were all about like trying to keep the bags under their eyes and the little lines here.
Using a gua sha roller help that.
I have no idea what that is.
After you do your serum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some movements which I can show you when you come and see me. But
okay.
Ice rollers to help with the inflammation, and it really helps push the product into the skin.
Okay.
But those are kind of, it's like yoga but for your face. So just like our other muscles get stagnant if we don't use them, it's the same with our face.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. So how are you doing that?
Gua sha rollers. So there's like different massage techniques that you can do.
Oh, you do self?
To stimulate.
Interesting.
You can do it yourself or
Oh, okay. And you can come in and do it.
Right.
As far as like, you're talking about the hydration of the skin, is that it's probably going to sound silly. Is that not drinking enough water, or is that specifically it's good to get in the face?
Mostly just drinking enough water.
Oh, really?
Yeah, daily.
And so what do you recommend as far as enough water for?
I mean, it depends on the person and the weight, but I try to drink a gallon a day.
I think that's a pretty good base for most people, right? Okay.
And honestly, it's like if I don't have my Hydro Flask, it's not happening. So it's like the only way I drink my water is if I have it. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And is there a difference between guys and girls as far as like skincare, or are we pretty much the same?
It's the same. It's just the client. It's their lifestyle, and it's everybody's skin is different and what they're doing daily. So
okay, funny. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female. You got to find out what kind of works for you.
Yeah. What
is some of the fluff out there with the marketing side that's just like complete BS opposed to what's real? I feel like there's a lot.
I feel like a lot of it is just the products out there. There's so many fillers and all these products, so they can mass produce them, but really it's affecting people's skin. It's causing a lot of sensitivity later on.
Okay. So doing
less is more. Really less is more. It's like when you look at something and there's like 50 different ingredients on there.
So it's the same as your skin, the same as food.
Right.
Gotcha. So how many does it kind of go back to like, when you read an ingredient in food and it's good for you, it's 2 or 3 ingredients and you can pronounce them. Yeah. Is it the same for skincare?
Yeah, very similar.
Okay, so if you're reading like chemicals and things, generally stay away from it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the app? I think it's Vesta. Have you seen that app?
No.
It's an app that you can scan food, but you can also scan skincare products.
Oh.
I'll show you afterwards, but I scan all my food. So you scan a Twinkie, it gives a 0 out of 100 rating. It tells you what additives are in it, and it tells you which ones are going to kill you, which ones cause cancer, and it scales down.
I love that.
But I'm pretty sure you can scan skincare products. Obviously, I don't scan skincare products as I don't have any to scan. Yeah. But I feel like you'd probably get nuts with that.
Yeah, I love
beep,
that.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
And I'll even make videos out of it. Like I'll scan like M&Ms, and it's like 2 out of 100. And it's got this red dye and blue dye and green dye, and this leads to this cancer.
Yeah.
But so it'd be interesting to see what you think about that
That's cool.
app.
I'll have to check it out.
Is there anything that that you recommend as far as like scanning a good or bad product? Is there a reference? Like if I'm looking at a moisturizer at like Target tomorrow, is there something I'm looking out for that makes it good or bad, or you just skip past that and go straight to the professional?
You could skip. Yep. My clients will text me all the time. They'll send me pictures of things. And also on my website, I have a huge list of different chemicals that are toxic for the body. So people can always go back to that and kind of.
Do you have recommended products instead?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're more than just like, hey, come and see me once a week, once a month. You can call me, text me.
Oh yeah, I'm always
like you can't, not accountability partner, but like.
Yeah, like a skin coach kind of.
Skin coach, in a good way. I like that. Skin coach, aesthetic skin coach.
Yeah, so I'm very open with my clients because I want them, like if they need help, I'm here for you,
Okay.
So I want them to feel like they can reach out to me if they need help with something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. And just finally, is there a business book that you have read that's really dramatically helped you with your specific type of business?
There is.
What is that book?
I can't remember the name right now.
What is it about?
It is, she's actually a local here in Las Vegas that, I don't know if you've ever been to the Salt Rock Room.
No, I have not. That sounds amazing.
Anyways, it's a spa, but she just tells her story on her growth with her business, and it inspired me a lot. So. And
she's a local, and it's just a book you can buy from the store.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. You can't remember what it is?
I can't remember right now.
And that book really dramatically helped you.
Yes.
Gotcha. Have you ever read E-Myth? You might want to check that out. E-Myth is like about how to create structures and step back from your business and delegate, outsource, so you can then more oversee the business opposed to working in the business. So
I like that.
It talks about like the technician, the business owner, the entrepreneur.
Okay.
So basically meaning just because you're a good mechanic doesn't mean you should run a mechanic store, because they're completely different.
Yeah.
So even though you're really good at what you do, you got to learn all these other skills to be able to run it's a wellness spa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, okay, what have I got to do to learn to oversee to
all these different types of professionals?
So many things, right? Yeah. Marketing,
it's a lot. That's why it's like having other people that are specialized in those things to help, you know?
No, it's fascinating. Cool. Thank you so much. That was an absolute pleasure. I look forward to coming and seeing you. Yes. I'm kind of nervous because I don't know what to expect, but that's a good sign. Cool. All right. Thank